Once upon a time, in a big city, there lived a little girl named Ice. Ice was a curious and brave child who loved to explore. One day, during the summer holiday, her family decided to visit her grandfather in the countryside. Ice was excited to escape the concrete buildings and crowds of the city and be close to nature. The village was surrounded by green fields and forests. As soon as they arrived at her grandfather's house, Ice ran outside and started exploring. The garden was full of colorful flowers, fluttering butterflies, and chirping birds. Ice was mesmerized by all these beauties. The next morning, her grandfather gave Ice an old compass as a gift. "This compass will guide you on your explorations," he said. Ice took the compass with great excitement and thanked her grandfather. With her compass in hand, Ice set off towards the forest. Along the way, she made friends with the animals she met. She fed a squirrel and watched a bird's nest. As she ventured deeper into the forest, her curiosity grew. Suddenly, she saw something shining behind a big tree. As she got closer, she realized it was a waterfall. The sound of the waterfall filled Ice with peace. While resting by the waterfall, Ice heard a voice. She turned around to see a village boy named Ahmet approaching her. Ahmet asked, "What are you doing here?" Ice explained about her compass and her passion for exploring. Ahmet said, "Follow me, I have something to show you." Ahmet led Ice to an old cave. Inside the cave were wall paintings that told old stories about the village's history. Ahmet explained that these paintings revealed the great secrets and past of the village. Ice examined the paintings carefully and was eager to learn more about the village's history. Ice and Ahmet returned to her grandfather and told him what they had seen in the cave. Her grandfather said, "This cave is very important for the history and culture of our village. You will carry these stories into the future." After this adventure, Ice was even more eager to explore every corner of the village. Every day, she learned something new and shared this knowledge with her friends. Ice's passion for exploration earned her the admiration of everyone in the village, and they called her Little Explorer Ice. Ice's adventures never ended thanks to her courage and curiosity. Each new day brought a new discovery and a new story. Thus, Ice's holiday in the village turned into the most unforgettable memories of her life. Ice continued to make new friends during her days in the village. Exploring the village and its surroundings with Ahmet became their daily routine. One day, they heard about an old ruin near the village. It was said that this ruin was an abandoned farm left during a great storm years ago. Ice and Ahmet decided to find the ruin early one morning, taking food and drinks with them. With their compass and map, they set off. The journey took them through lush fields and flower-filled paths. After a while, they saw broken walls and a roof covered with weeds in the distance. When they arrived at the ruin, they imagined how beautiful it must have been once. Ice wondered, who might have lived on this farm? Ahmet replied, "Maybe there's still a hidden treasure in this farm." The pair began to carefully examine the ruin. In the old kitchen, they found broken plates and pots. In one room, there were dusty books and yellowed photographs. Ice picked up a book and started reading. The book contained the diaries of a family who had lived on this farm. The diaries described how the farm was established, the challenges faced, and how it was abandoned. Ice and Ahmet were deeply moved by these stories. However, the last diary entry was unfinished. The final page read, "The great storm is approaching, everyone needs to find a safe place." Ice and Ahmet wondered about the end of this story and where the farm's inhabitants had gone. Ice noticed an old, dark staircase leading to the farm's basement. Together, she and Ahmet bravely decided to go down. The stairs were old and creaky. When they reached the basement, they found a large chest with a rusty lock. Ice took out a small knife from her pocket and tried to open the lock. After a few attempts, the lock opened. When they opened the chest, they found old family photographs, letters, and some valuable items. Ice carefully read the letters. The letters described how the family living on the farm had safely reached another village and started a new life. The family had left this chest to preserve the memories and history of the farm. Ice and Ahmet took these valuable findings and brought them to her grandfather. Her grandfather said, "This shows how strong our village and the life here are. You have done an important job by carrying these stories into the future." Ice and Ahmet realized how valuable everything they discovered was for the people in the village. This experience brought them closer and strengthened their passion for exploration. Through this adventure, Ice learned the importance of preserving our history and learning about the past. As Ice's adventures continued, new discoveries and stories awaited them. Each day meant a new adventure, new knowledge, and new friendships. Thus, the adventures of little explorer Ice never ended and continued to shed light on the history of the village. Would you please like the video and subscribe to my channel?